So today we're going to go ahead and get into this 400 finally. We ain't going to ride it too much till we get completely done, but I don't see why we can't have this started by the end of the day rather than that head. So I'm not going to do a lot of this on camera. I'll just show you before and after. This head is not getting put together like that. I'm sure it's not letting anything through, but I'm going to take the valves completely out. I'm going to take the valves completely out and clean up the valve stems and clean up the bottom of the head and of course the exhaust port. I thought about going ahead and porting it a little bit, but I think we're just going to get it cleaned up and get it running before any performance mods. Yeah, I just don't want to put it back on there. Alright, we got it polished up. That's the exhaust now. It's a mild polish job. It's probably ported a little bit. We cleaned up the intake holes. They had rust in them. We fixed the drop valve guide. But yeah, she's polished up pretty good. That stuff was, the carbon was really caked in there, so that was what we was after, just getting the carbon off. And we succeeded. We also found out the valves weren't sealing completely. Like that. So you'll see this now, and then you'll see it later on all cleaned up. Get the carbon off. A few of them scratches I don't like. I didn't really know it had that. The best way is to smack them with a socket and hammer and get the retainers out, so you don't have to stay over the tool the whole time. But to put it back on, you need the tool. You move it to the side and probably take out the other one that you're not getting, because when you pull one out, it kind of shifts against the other side. Alright. Then you got your cap. And your valve spring. Which these babies seem to be pretty stiff. Okay, so the good thing we're taking it apart is, see all these shavings when he got the holes rethreaded. Oh wow. You want to make sure you don't scratch your head surface up with that tool. At least that valve moves easy. Oh yeah, these are. I mean, people could have ran these. People would have ran these, but we're gonna get all that rust and shit off there. Yep. Wow. There's no way the same bolts are going to fit in there. I bet I need a new head. Or I ordered all those bolts for no reason. One of the two. If we can stay on it here. Okay, we got all our valves out. That one didn't want to come out real good. It's alright, it was just on the valve seal. Kind of wish we had new valve seals now that we're in here. We would have definitely been in trouble running this head with all the metal in there though. There's tons of chunks like that, like tons. Okay, so now that we got those removed, we can clean it out. But there's no reason to clean it out because we're going to be grinding on it. Alright, so we're going to try to get our wire wheels down in there. We're going to get our valves cleaned up. About to get our lapping compound, re-lap them. Alright, we got some work ahead of us. I'm going to shut you guys off now and get to it. It is 15 till 10 in the morning. Probably be done with it by noon, I hope. Alright, so a little problem we ran into. See all those valve guides, how they're out, sticking out? Look at that one. That's not a drop valve guide. Well, it is, because it dropped out the other side. But we're just going to try to take the valve seal off, and I got a valve installer tool. We're just going to try to heat it up and beat it in there. We're not going to try to do anything else than that. These are valve stem installer tools. There's usually a snap ring on there that stops it from going. This is weird. Well, there it went. Check out my reamer kit here. See what's going on. So these are, you can use a regular drill bit too. I don't recommend it. I have used them before, but these are valve guide reamers. This is going to be our 5.5, the most commonly used one. These are 5s. I'm sorry, but it was probably getting hung up on the valve was getting hung up on the guide. Make sure she's still getting hung up good. And as you can see, the valve's just having all kinds of trouble. It's not bad, but we have a reamer here, so why not use it? Okay, so what you want to do, put a towel under it, get the angle towards you, soak it in the oil. Soak your drill bit in oil. There it goes. Once it's in there, you can kind of go ahead and go with it. I've used drill bits and done this before, but the reamer's way better. Blow it through a little oil, and I'm going to go over here and use the air to blow it out. Okay, now we should have a valve that goes through just fine. If not, we can ream it out more. Alright. As you can see, it moves just fine now. Get out my valve lapping compound. We'll use Permatex around here, son. We got some diamond polishing compound, which would work too. This stuff's pretty expensive. You get different grits. This is really good for polishing the head. We didn't actually use this today. There's a third one in there. This is 10% diamond powder, 600 grit, and one's 1050, and then this one is 1500 grit. So they just put little pieces of diamond in there, and it's real good compound. It's good for polishing if you want to shine your head up or put it on a little wheel and go to town. I got little paper wheels I put it on the Dremel, and you can really polish the shit out of something. Okay, so I don't know if you guys noticed, but the valves are cleaned up real good. Alright, so let's get out our lapper that we need. It's usually the small one here. Okay, we're going to put a little bit of compound on the outer edge. People like to do it differently, so you watch different people, it's different. Some people just put a glob on there and let it rub around itself. I like to just put a little bit on all the way around. Thing is, you can always wipe it off. Need that shit getting back in my engine. Little crustaceans fell off. Alright, and once you get it in there, you're going to go like that till you start hearing that good sound. Oh yeah. And then as you see, when you do that, it puts a nice new seal around it. Same thing on the head. It puts a nice new seal on there. Alright, you want to see the difference between the valves before and after? I don't know if you guys can see that out of the light or not, but you can see this one has that new lip. So that is why we are reseating them. That looks real good. You can see the seal on it there. I was watching him lap a big valve. It was like this. The guy was literally lapping it. The valve was the size of the guy. I don't know what that engine was off of. Huge. Huge. That's the sound we're looking for. I'll do it one more time on this one. I can literally see a little bit of carbon or whatever is on the seal there. I don't know what happened to this. There was so much carbon on it though. It wasn't even ran that long. Well, it could have been. Sure didn't look like it. We're ready to put it together. Show you guys what kind of polish job we did. Get a better light for you. Okay, so there's our intake. We left it just enough roughness to atomize the fuel, as you can see. We got our valve grinding compound seats done. We got a, I don't know what kind of RA, but an appropriate RA. It should seal alright. And we got the exhaust polished as good as we could with little wire wheels. Really all I wanted was the carbon out, and now you can see that we got a decent polish job. So that'll flow a lot better and add a couple horsepower, if not some power, to what it had. We got one valve, one bottom spring cap. We have to get into our gasket kit here. We need the valve seats, valve seals, whatever you want to call them. But thank goodness the valve seals were in here, because the other valve seals were horrible. One was ripped and the others were dry rotted, cracked, all that good stuff. So let's pull out our valve seals. Double bagged. Alright. Okay, that was a little pain in the butt. Alright, got our valve seals now. Valve seats. We don't want to go any further without putting these on. A little assembly lube or oil, either one. Usually WD-40 will be good enough. In this case, we're going to use assembly lube since we brake cleaned the whole head this morning. Now, you don't want to get it underneath a lot because it'll smoke, but you do need to get it on there to seal the valve. Looks like we're going to have to use pliers down in this. So I don't like these heads that are sunk in this far. Shouldn't have to use pliers to put this on. So we're going to push it over the valve stem. Or push the valve stem out and the seal on. And then as the valve comes up, just be careful you put it through real easy and hold it down. And don't rip it. And what you're looking for is a good, you guys can't see because of the light. The rubber should hold it a little bit. That's how good the seal should be. And that, in our case, in the other ones, they weren't holding it at all. But see, the valve does, before we put the seal on, watch. The valve will fall out, okay? See? A good seal will hold it a little bit. We'll show you here. Okay, first our bottom spring plate. Spring plate on, valve seal, a little bit of oil so we don't tear it. We're going to put a little Sibley lube there just so we can have it when we need it. So we're not using the pliers to do anything but just barely hold it to get it down there. Then we push it on. Alright, remember what I said? The valve seal, if it's good, should hold the valve a little bit. The valve seal, seat, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now like I said, remember it should hold it. You can push it down a little bit as you see, and it'll hold it still. Now if it doesn't hold it, it's because your valve seal's dried up and you need new valve seals, and that can cause smoking. We're going to go ahead and put the other 4 valves in, and then well, we can go ahead and put the springs on. So we take it down far enough to get the retainers on. I got a feeling this one's going to be a bugger. I can't get my fingers in there. Okay, and once you get the retainers in their spot, you're going to release your, well, that's not cool. That was a brake cleaner. You're going to release your valve tool. And the retainers will hold themselves to the spring. I'm sorry. And the retainers will hold themselves to the valve stem. So the trick I learned was to put it in there where it goes, pull the spring over to hold it. The second one's not so easy because you're holding the first retainer with the spring. And where it magnetizes to the second one. Careful not to scratch your mating surface of your head. So these ones are a lot easier to do than most. I thought they'd be harder. They got these like things, these, I don't know why they have all this stuff around the spring. Once again, we're not squeezing this, we're just holding it to get it down there, setting it there, pushing it on by hand. A little oil for the top of it so the valve stem goes through. spraying top after the seal and stem. We got the tool. Up, down, down, down. There we go. Another trick is people put assembly lube on them to get them to stick, which is fine too. Like I said, I'm using the spring to hold it, because when you got the tool in here, it shifts side to side. You get the keeper on, you can let it shift over and hold the keeper. Alright, next one. We got our bottom. We got our valve seal. A little bit of oil so it don't get tore. So there's the condition of our piston. It is a 89.96 Vertex, and our jug is the cylinder works. Get wild.